Often when teams have performance problems, instead of working on mistakes and motivation, they make substitutions in the lineup. There are examples when transfers change the team for the better and they become stronger. But this, we will discuss someday in the future. Today, we will tell you how transfers of players, and sometimes even full rosters, not only made things worse, but even destroyed previously successful teams. Let's go. JerAx in EG. JerAx is a legendary figure in Dota 2 and a role model for many players. Boboka, one of the most successful 4-pause players in China, called JerAx his mentor. To pay tribute to his idol, Boboka even changed his name to JerAx for a while. And nothing is surprising in this regard. When Earth Spirit was added to Dota,
Earth Spirit is a strength hero whose variety of skill shot abilities allow him to be one of the most robust and unpredictable heroes in the game.
And no one understood how to play it, Jesse was one of the first to show all the coolness of this hero.
Yeah, it was probably the day they released the hero, when I first played the hero, and I don't really remember much. I think it was very difficult and different than other heroes. That was my first feeling, and yeah, quite challenging, I would say.
Even when the character was reworked and nerfed, JerAx continued to show class on him.
No, stun onto 2, but the Stormhammer's there, they'll jump straight in, they'll look for mind control, but look at this 3-man JerAx with the Magnetize as well, and now they're coming in with the ultimate, with the Exorcism, 2 dead at the moment on the side of Vega. They're going to lose Pasha as well. Huge combo there from the boys on Liquid.
JerAx, he would dictate the tempo of the game. He's like a dog that's chasing a ball, but you can't really see the ball. So you're just trying to run after the dog who's running after the ball.
My position is more like a roaming type. Mostly I'm just moving around the map, disabling enemies.
Oh, one in. Huge boulder smash onto 3, a roll in 2.
Try and hide, Meta caught out again by JerAx, jumps forward with the boulder smash.
JerAx's main achievement in his performance in OG, along with No-Tail, Ana, Seb, and Topson. He is one of the few 2-time international champion in Dota 2 history.
OG are your 2-time TA champions!
In 2018 and 2019, they showed that you don't have to dominate the entire DPC season, but show a godlike level of play. After the second Aegis, JerAx decided to end his career to spend more time with his family. For more than 2 years, Jesse didn't perform at the pro level, but everything changed in November 2021, when a lot of inside information about his comeback came out. It was hard to believe, but according to authoritative insiders, JerAx was to join EG as captain and 5th position player. The announcement of the updated roster took place on November 21st.
I'm very grateful for the opportunity to play for EG. Hopefully we will be doing great as a team.
Besides Jesse, Nightfall, who changed his position from carry to hardliner, joined the team. The team's updated roster immediately failed. It lost the first 2 matches out of 3, and analysts noted JerAx as one of the team's worst players, who seemed to have not entered Dota at all in recent years. Nevertheless, the team managed to win all future matches to go to the regional finals, where EG took 2nd place. JerAx and co did it without Nightfall, who was replaced by MSS. In the second round of DPC, everything went much better for Evil Geniuses. It was clear that the team had worked on errors and improved synergy between players. Although the league finished with a score of 6-1, in the tiebreakers for 2 slots at the major, EG took 1st place, beating the 2 other strongest teams in the region, Team Solo Mid and Quincy Crew.
EG today have looked like a far better team than everybody in North America.
At ESL 1 Stockholm Major, unexpected for fans, JerAx and company showed a low level of preparation, which resulted in the last place in the group and elimination from the tournament.
I think the biggest problem for us is just finding our own rhythm.
JerAx was blamed for this result. He was kicked from the team after the major. TNC 2022. TNC Predator is a legendary Filipino club that has regularly participated in Valve tournaments since 2016, but the fans had to wait quite a long time for the club's first big trophy, only in 2019, when March became the new captain of the team. TNC won the MDL Chengdu Major. After the victory, many experts believed that TNC would go directly to the World Championship and be one of the favorites for ages. Unfortunately, that DPC season was not completed due to the coronavirus pandemic, and the TI-10 was cancelled. In the online era, TNC continued to periodically win local online tournaments, but it definitely was not the level of the team at the end of 2019. When the new DPC season was announced, and it was decided to replace March with Febby, who had previously coached the Philippine team. After TNC failed to qualify for the major in Singapore, management made a decision to replace Kpai and Febby with Bach and Bumi to form an all-Filipino roster. The new roster qualified to We Play Any Major and even took 7th to 8th place, but it was not enough to go to the international directly, so the team had to play qualifiers. Unfortunately for the fans, TNC lost to Fnatic in a very tight fight to the grand final of the qualifier. Despite the not-so-amazing results of the team under Febby's leadership, the club's management believed in Febby's new project. He offered to recruit 4 young players to the top of the Asian ladder and to mold them into Tier 1 players. Well, from our point of view, we can only state that the idea failed. TNC was sensationally eliminated from the top division, winning only 1 match in the first DPC tour. After making 3 changes in the team but leaving Febby, the team could not return to the first echelon of teams, but took 5th place in the 2nd division. At this moment, TNC's management came to their senses. After kicking Febby, they had hope for young and promising players from the Philippines, but they didn't succeed. Firstly, they could not keep the team in the DPC system, being relegated from the 2nd division, and then they took last place in the qualifiers for the international. In December of 2022, TNC took a break from the competitive scene. Iceiceice in Team Secret. Iceiceice is one of Singapore's most successful esports players. Playing for VC Gaming, Team DK, eHome, Mineski, and Fnatic, he has won numerous trophies, as well as finishing 4th twice at the International in 2014 with DK and in 2015 with VG.
My biggest win? Marrying my wife. Oh, in gaming? The biggest win in gaming so far. I actually can't think of gaming because I haven't won TI.
So when Iceiceice joined the Evil Geniuses in early 2021, it seemed like a logical decision, even though some analysts believed that the Singaporean hadn't shown a high level of play for a long time. Daryl, in turn, gave a worthy answer to the haters. EG was twice 1 step away from winning the major, but they were beaten by Invictus Gaming in Singapore and by LGD in Kiev. Unfortunately, Evil Geniuses could not prepare well for the World Championship, and therefore were naturally eliminated in the 2nd round of the lower bracket. When Team Secret announced in the form of a cool comic book that the new hardliner of the team would be Iceiceice, some fans did not understand this. Although Daryl was an experienced player, the Singaporean showed a low level of play in recent months under EG. With all that, when the European team took 3rd place at OGA Dota Pit Season 5 for Europe, questions of the skeptics were closed. But fans had no idea how right they were. Daryl's performance throughout DPC was terrible. He was one of the reasons why Secret was never able to qualify for any major of the season, and this is now in contrast to the previous DPC season, where Secret won the first league and took 4th place at the Singapore major. Puppy solved this problem very quickly. He accepted Zayat's offer and took Resolution as a replacement for Iceiceice. NAVI after TI4. The history of NAVI Dota 2 after TI4 underwent a radical transformation. European players Puppy and Kurakai left the team to create their own squads like Secret and Liquid, as they couldn't see a future in NAVI. It seems they knew something because after TI4, the team shifted from being a feared giant to just another Tier 1 team, consistently participating in top tournaments but only occasionally securing victories. Initially, the team frequently shuffled Eastern European players, but this didn't yield the desired results. In December 2016, the roster transitioned to English, welcoming Pyket, RMN, and Biver. Results continued to deteriorate. Failure to qualify for top championships, with Epicenter 2017 and Summit 7 being the only Tier 1 tournaments NAVI played. Invited rather than qualified. The outcomes were dreadful, with only 1 match won across 2 tournaments. Failing to qualify for TI7, NAVI parted ways with the Europeans. The current state of NAVI is hard to watch. Despite what seemed to be a promising signing of FTM, the team crumbled due to internal conflicts. NAVI once again began rebuilding the roster from scratch. Initially, around Solo, who invited Aloha Dance, a player who had long since transitioned to streaming and hadn't played professionally for an extended period. In February 2023, NAVI signed their 2nd roster, PuckChamp, with a significant issue. They lacked an experienced captain. This proved to be a cruel joke, as while they consistently won lanes in their games, their mid-game suffered due to the absence of clear shot calling. In the new season, the team decided not to change their direction, placing their bet on a youthful lineup with minimal experience. And before we continue, we'd like to remind you that you can support our channel financially. You can do this via Patreon or PayPal. All the details can be found in the description below this video. Elephant. When rumors spread in China at the end of the summer of 2020 that Somnus and FY wanted to team up with Yang and Paparazzi to build the strongest team in China, it seemed like a very good idea. All four were in good shape before the start of the online era and were considered one of the most skilled players at their positions. And when the information appeared that this team would be coached by Rotikai, it looked like a dream team for China fans. The problems started already at the beginning. 4 Angry Men and Elephant, the main investors of the new team, did not have enough money to buy out Paparazzi, so the veteran Sylar began to play for them. He managed to play only a few matches when he was kicked. As it turned out, the management of the club agreed with the players who would cover part of the transfer of Paparazzi to the team. Later, the organization had to pay a fine due to Sylar's kick, because it had broken the rules of the China Dota 2 Professional Association. Also, the club did not succeed with Rotikai. Due to incorrect financial policy, the management did not have enough money for the transfer of the coach. Rotikai had no job until March 2021, when his contract with VC Gaming expired, and he moved to Elephant as a free agent. You ask, why Elephant? Where did the legendary Chinese club 4 Angry Men go? This is another scandal that the newly created club got into even before the start of DPC 2021. On November 15th, it became known that 4AM decided to withdraw from the project due to unfulfilled financial obligations on the part of Elephant. From the next day, the team was simply called Elephant. Although the team failed its first tournament, it won the next 2 tournaments: China Dota 2 Pro Cup Season 2 and the 5th season of the OGA Dota Pit for China. These victories splurged to fans and analysts, who ranked Elephant as one of the strongest teams in the region. In reality, everything was not like that. The team twice took 5th place in the regional league and did not advance to any of the majors. Although Elephant quite confidently qualified for the international, few believed in the success of the team. Elephant once again proved that there is no place for star teams in today's pro Dota with its high level of competition. At the International 11, Elephant took the penultimate place in the group and was eliminated in the very first match of the playoffs. That's it. What is the worst transfer in Dota 2 history? Write about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Good game.